Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Mind the Mental Monday. Good to be with you again for another week. I never take for granted um, making it to another week because, there are people who uh, we might have seen last week and that we're not seeing this week. So I never take the fact that I'm breathing, the fact that I'm able to come back and share another Mind the Mental Monday with all of you. And so I want to start off as usual just by thanking you for your support, thanking you for your comments, thanking you for subscribing to the YouTube channel. I have something in the works that I'm excited about. I'm not going to announce it quite yet, but um, it's in the works. So I'm looking forward to um, I will be having a special announcement sometime very soon. So just be on the lookout. All right. So this is a joyous day. It is the day that the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. And the rejoicing and being glad in it really has nothing to do with anything in particular that has happened. It is just a result of the day having been made and uh, the fact that we are able to participate in it, whatever the day might bring. And so tonight I want to talk to you about having joy in midst. And the reason that I thought about that is we are really just living in some trying and turbulent times. And it's not that living in turbulent times is something new. There's really nothing new under the sun. There have been turbulent times before, unless, and until the Lord comes back, there's likely to be turbulent times to come. And a a lot of times, because turbulent times that's filled with chaos and uncertainty can cause us to really derail mentally. It can cause us to not want to participate in the things of life. It can cause us to be fearful and so fearful that we don't even want to go outside of our doors, that we become bound in a variety of ways, both mentally and physically. And when we are when we are anxious about things that are happening, when we're fearful about things that are happening, it sends off signals in our bodies, that sort of fight or flight signal that just causes even sickness in the body, right? And I've talked before about everything kind of starting in the mind. And so I think that it is important now. Um, I'm not going to say now more than ever, but in the times that we find ourselves living in now, where, there is just, it's not that hatred is new. I think that in this generation, we haven't seen it as up close and personal as our forefathers, as maybe our parents or our grandparents, saw it. Not that it didn't exist, it just wasn't in your face. It wasn't just out there like it is resurging that way now. And so I think that there is, I think that those that, having those kinds of things happening in our surroundings, having, people that we know losing jobs, or people that we know being, rounded up by ICE, people that we know being impacted, I mean, severely negatively impacted, and all the rest of us tangentially are everybody, because we all impact one another. Nobody is nobody is free from, just the turmoil that is happening. It is happening to all of us um, collectively, and that kind of thing it can be frightening. It can be harrowing. I mean, it can be depressing. It can cause some people literally to take the stance that they don't even want to be here anymore. And that means living this life anymore. There, we think about maybe the last sort of really sort of detrimental thing that happened to like sort of everybody collectively was the Great Depression, and people who like were wealthy and lost a lot of money. I mean, they just like started jumping out of windows and just ending it because their wealth was what controlled them. Their wealth was the thing that made them feel like they were somebody, or like they had some kind of power, or whatever the case might be. And they felt that it would be better to not live than to live and not not have the same access that they maybe once had. And so we are living in a time that feels, very similar to something like that, where there's just mad chaos and, you know, hatred and all the everything negative almost, that you can think of just seems to be loud, right? And just on blast. And from a Christian perspective, it's like we understand that Satan is the prince of the powers of the air, and operates in airwaves, and operates in ways that cause chaos and confusion and hatred and bitterness and all of that. Um, so we understand the spirit within which all of it is happening, and we understand that that spirit is already defeated. But even in that knowledge, even in those of us who have that knowledge, it can still be disconcerting to just on a day-to-day basis, just like not know what's going to happen next, right? And that really can cause a collective sort of anxiety. And so in times like these, more than any other time, it is important for us to not give up our joy. It is important for us to not hand over our joy to an enemy that seeks to destroy us. It is imperative that regardless of the things that we see happening, that as we plan and as we get into good trouble, and as we resist just all of the sort of nonsense really that is happening, even in the midst of the pain that we might feel, those that are, suddenly without employment, those who are concerned, like me, concerned about my grandchildren, who one of whom, has special needs, and um, may be cut off from the services that she is getting, that is causing her to have a lot of progress. Like, those day-to-day, everyday kinds of things, You know, the foods that we're eating, not only the cost of them, but what's in them, like the environment, that we've worked really hard to try to make better. Suddenly just people allowing things that shows that a lack of care and concern for the next generation or for humanity and for this earth. So I really want to encourage us tonight. Hey, listen, don't let anybody or anything, any circumstance steal your joy. And so I want to just define what joy is because I think that people sometimes mistake or view joy and happiness as being synonymous, as having the same meaning. But joy and happiness are two very different things. And the main difference in joy versus happiness is that joy comes from within, whereas happiness tends to come from without, right? Tends to come from outside of you. Happiness tends to be something that is temporary and is dependent on kind of what's happening in your circumstances. You can be happy one minute because you're comfortable or you're able to do something that you love to do. And then if that thing gets cut off and you're no longer able to do it, then that can cause your happiness to go. But joy is is not something that's based on what's going on around you. Joy is based on what is happening inside of you. And I remember having grown up in the church, I remember singing the song, "This Joy I Have, the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it, and the world can't take it away." And I think having that knowledge, being keyed in on that is so important right now because what it tells us is that regardless of what is going on in the world, regardless of wars that are happening and, tariffs and, structures, the foundational structures being destroyed and things literally crumbling. Despite all of that, there is something on the inside that says, I'm going to keep going. I know all of this stuff is happening around me. I know that there are people that maybe personally I'm impacted by things. There are people around me that are close to me, whom I love, that are being adversely impacted by things that are going on. But regardless of all of that, there is something in me. There's a fight in me that refuses to let anybody feel like they have so much power over me that they can just take my joy. And it is an attitude. Joy is an attitude. It is an attitude of, listen, I'm not going to let you get the best of me. You didn't create me. You're not my protector. You're not my healer. You're not my redeemer. You, whatever it is that you're trying to do to destroy me or to cause me to not have joy, I'm not going to give that to you under any circumstances. So, joy is an internal state of contentment, peace, and well-being that isn't easily shaken by life's ups and downs. That is the difference between joy and happiness. Happiness is based on what's happening around you. It's good news, it's success, fun experiences, right? Favorable conditions, whatever that might be. Um, but happiness is fleeting because, you can be happy one minute, literally from minute to minute. Like you can be happy one minute and something can happen in an instant and then your happiness is gone. I mean, literally, it can happen instantly. But joy is that thing that is deep in your psyche that says, okay, I understand that there's chaos going on all around me. I understand um, that people are dying. I understand that people are hungry. I might even be one of them, right? I understand that there's chaos in the world. I understand there's wars happening in the world. I understand that there are people who don't like me literally because of the color of my skin, who want to destroy me. But in the midst, I'm still going to have joy because joy is a fight. Oprah Winfrey said, "All my life I had to fight," right? You feel like sometimes you have to, in your life, you've had to fight through all kinds of situations and circumstances. It could have been something that you had to fight in childhood. You could have had to fight the feelings that you got because you were being bullied or teased about something in school. It could be that your parents didn't have the best relationship. It could be that you grew up, in a family where even the people in your family were putting you down. I mean, it could be all kinds of things that have happened around you that causes you to not be happy. But joy is a state of resilience. Joy is that thing that says, you think you got me, and maybe you did get me. Maybe maybe for a split second, maybe for a day, maybe for a week even, you had me down. You had me bound. But there is something in you that says, I got to get up from this. There's something inside of me that says, not only all my life I've had to fight, but guess what? When the fight comes, I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. I got my Vaseline. Now, for me, my Vaseline is that oil. That Holy Spirit oil that's my Vaseline, right? Um, but you have to have a posture of joy. You are not going to sink me. You are not going to have that kind of control over me that I give you my joy. I'm just not going to do it. It's an attitude. It's that thing that says, I gotta keep going. I gotta keep pushing. And does joy mean that you're going to be smiling all the time? No, that's not what it is. Because again, that's external. Half the time that's that mask. Go back to which episode? I think that was episode 2, talking about the mask, right? Half the time the smile is a mask anyway. So it doesn't mean that you're always going to be smiling. It doesn't mean that you're always going to be in a good mood. Doesn't mean that that everything is just always going to go well for you. Everything is always going to be roses. Doesn't mean that, but what it does mean is that somewhere deep down inside, even in the midst of persecution, in the midst of losing a job, in the midst of losing relationships, in the midst of all the chaos that is going on around me, in the midst of it all, I still have joy because it is the one thing that nobody can take from you. So how can we have joy in the midst? Because I think that, it's good, it's nice to say to have joy in the midst, but where does it come from? How can we have this joy? And the truth of the matter is, it's a decision. It is a decision. And sometimes we might be in a situation where we're feeling where we're in a situation where we honestly don't feel like having joy. Like I want the pity party. I'm not with the joy today, right? But joy, the thing about joy is that joy is not going to let you linger there. There's going to be something in you that says, you know what, I can't allow myself to just stay in this this mood that I'm in. I cannot continue to allow, the person who chastise me or you know or something that I've felt pain about. I've got to do something to work through the emotions, the outward emotions that might be happening so that I can tap into that joy that is implanted. Joy is something that is implanted. It is something that is a decision that you decide to tap into that when all hell is breaking loose in your life. Because otherwise, all the hell breaking loose in your life is has got you bound. All the hell breaking loose in your life is bringing you down, right? All the hell that is breaking loose in your life and all around you is causing you to have so much distress that it negatively impacts your physical being. And so joy in the midst is an intention. It is something that is done intentionally and purposefully, and it is that attitude of I am not going to let whatever it is, fill in the blank, destroy me. I am not going to let fill in the blank cause me to be pulled so far down into an abyss of negative emotions that I can't claw myself out from it. And we will have those seasons where it'll be hard. It'll be hard to find that joy in the midst. There will be times where it will be hard to find that joy in the midst. But understand that the more you are intentional about having and finding that joy in the midst, the more you practice it. My Instagram connection kind of keeps getting lost for some reason. And I'm not happy about it. But the joy in the midst is saying, you know what? This message is going to get out. And whoever needs to hear it, if they don't hear it on Instagram, they can go to my YouTube channel and they can hear it there. They can go to Facebook and they can hear it there. Because somebody needs to hear this message that you must fight to grab a hold to that joy in the midst of fill in the blank. You must. It is a survival technique. Do you think that Harriet Tubman, if somewhere deep in her belly didn't have joy in the midst, that she would have made all those trips? I mean, she had her freedom. What I mean, she could have been happy that she got her freedom. And so she don't need to come back to anybody to help anybody else. But it was something in her belly. There was something inside of her that said that, yes, I have my freedom. I was able to get to my freedom, but I'm not free until my brothers and sisters are free. And as many as I can go back and grab hold to, I'm going to do that. She had to have some joy in the midst to keep doing that. Because think about all the trips that she had to make. Think about the dangerous terrain she had to go through in order to think about that she had a bounty on her head. Think about the people out there that wanted to kill her because she was stealing their property. She had to go through wooded areas. She had to worry about dogs sniffing out her scent. So she had to have the intelligence to do things to throw them off their trail. You cannot do something like that without having some joy. I'm sure she wasn't happy that she was put in a position that she even had to do that as a human being. Like nobody should be put in a situation where they have to go to such lengths just to gain freedom. That really should not be a thing. But in the midst of all of that, that joy in her was a fight. That joy in her belly that welled up. I'm sure every trip that she made was something that caused her to persevere. It caused her to put up a fight. It caused her to be able to help her brothers and sisters to get out of bondage. And the only way we can help each other to get out of whatever kind of bondage we might find ourselves is to first, again, put that mask on ourselves, put the oxygen mask on ourselves, get ourselves out of that bondage, and then help somebody else along. This joy that we have is not just for us. This joy that we have is a part of the fight for the next generation. It's a part of the fight to continue to pursue justice. It's a part of the fight to continue to show up and show who God purposed us and made us to be. So be encouraged tonight, my brothers and my sisters. This joy, whatever it is, the joy that you have, the world didn't give it to you. The president didn't give it to you, right? The Democrats ain't give it to you. The Republicans ain't give it to you. The independents ain't give it to you. This joy, the joy in the midst of sorrow, the joy in the midst of pain, the joy in the midst of persecution, the joy in the midst of things going awry in your life, the joy in the midst is something that comes from a power much greater than you or I. This joy comes from our Creator, who created us in His likeness, who created us in freedom, who created us to pursue justice. This joy is not something that you can allow anybody, I don't care who they are, not even your mom and daddy and them, not even your cousin them. This joy is something that you must not allow anybody to take from you. It is a fight. It is a stance of being ready for battle. It is a weapon. Joy is a weapon because when odds come up against you, when you're attacked on every side, joy is a weapon that shows the enemy that, guess what? I don't care what your plans are for me. My Creator said that He's putting joy in me that's going to help me to overcome these obstacles. The joy in you is the joy that won't let you quit at the first sign of trouble. The joy in you is that joy that won't let you stop when you don't get that start that job or start that business at on the first try. It is that thing that causes you to keep going. It is that thing that causes you to sing the song, I feel like going on. Though trials come on every hand, this joy in you says, I feel like going on. So I really want to help somebody tonight that feels like you don't have joy, that feels like you don't know how you're going to climb out of an abyss of depression or an abyss of low self-esteem or whatever your abyss is, you don't know how you're going to climb out of it. I want to encourage you tonight to find that joy deep within. It's not from outside of you. It's not based on who likes you. It's not based on how many likes you get on social media. It's not based on how many people are following you or following your platform. It's not based on any of that. It is based on just who you are as a child of the King. So I hope that this is resonating with someone because I feel like um, I've I, I've been in communication with and around, and I've just seen people who just feel as though they're in so much despair. They're angry about the things that are going on in our nation. But at the same time, because everything is coming at us so fast, they feel like they don't know what to do about it. And that is what it is designed to do. It is designed to rob you of your joy. It is designed to rob you of your fight. It is designed to press you further down, because that is the only way that some people can be lifted up is by putting other people down. That is the only way. And so again, joy is a weapon. It is a weapon that will cause you to say, I don't care what you bring on me. I don't care what you try to do to hurt me. I don't care what you try to do to erase my people and the contributions that they have supplied to this entire globe. I don't care what it is that you are trying to do to try to suppress me, oppress me, and just press me. This joy I have, you ain't give it to me. And guess what? You don't have the power. You don't have enough money. You don't have enough resources. You don't have a big enough army. You don't have enough of anything, of any resource to take it from me. The only way that you get it is if I hand it over. And I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not giving you my joy. So my dukes are up and ready for battle. Bring it. Because whatever it is you bring, I am going to have enough reserve within me to call it up. You might have me for a minute. And again, it doesn't mean that I'm not going to be sad sometimes. It doesn't mean that I'm not going to have some rough days. It doesn't mean that I'm not going to have some hills to climb and some battles to fight. Doesn't mean any of that. But what it does mean is that I have something in me that's going to give me what I need to press forward, to endure. I have what I need inside of me, and you're not going to take it away. And so, how can we have joy in the midst? It's a decision. We have to be determined. We have to be determined that whatever the case might be, whatever waters might rise, and try to overtake us. Whatever mountains we need to climb, we are only going to have the strength to overcome if we don't let go of our joy. We got to have joy in the midst. I don't know what your midst is. I don't know what your midst is. I don't know what you're battling with. I don't know what you're dealing with tonight, but I feel like there's somebody out there whose joy has just gotten so depleted that they just are ready to throw in the towel. And I want to encourage you, whoever that is, I don't know who that is, whoever that is, I want to encourage you to dig way down deep, 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 deep inside and try to find that joy that will help you to keep going, to keep pushing, to keep moving, because the world needs you. There's a reason that you're here. There's a reason that there's no other you but you. There's a reason that you're needed on the planet for such a time as this. This joy, not that superficial happiness, not, oh, I'm happy because, I got a diamond ring. I'm happy because I got a new car. I'm happy, if you're happy and clap your hands. Not that. No, this joy I have didn't come from outside of me. The world and nothing else, nothing in the world gave it to me. They didn't give it, and they darn sure can't take it away. I need that to be your stance tonight. I need that to be your attitude tonight. Joy in the midst. Whatever your midst is, don't let nobody steal your joy. All right. I hope I hope somebody was helped with this. Thank you for joining. And if you didn't hear the whole thing, please run over to YouTube and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And my YouTube channel is now just Benita Weathers, the 329. I removed that. So, it's just Benita Weathers. So go over and subscribe. Thank you for those of you who have already subscribed. I see the subscriptions going up and I appreciate it. I appreciate you. And, I pray that everyone will have a blessed night and a blessed week. I will not be with you live next Monday. I have an event that I will be attending next week, and so I will not be able to do Mind the Mental Monday live next week. But I am planning to at least try to do a recording that I can play, not that I can play, but that I will share so that we can still have our Mind the Mental Monday, albeit maybe not live. All right. So hopefully you all can forgive me for that. Uh, but I pray that you have a wonderful and safe and blessed week. And Lord willing, and the creek don't rise. I'll see you in 2 weeks. I'm going to have a special guest in 2 weeks. And so I'm looking forward to that and looking forward to you all joining. All right. Remember, don't let nobody, and I mean absolutely nobody, steal your joy. Good night.